In a few short words, new literacies are not being implemented because teachers are afraid of them and because politicians are oblivious to them. A major reason that the teachers are afraid to teach new literacy is the fact that many, if not most teachers, are not as literate as the students they teach. However, new literacy instruction is not based on a singular authority teaching down to students. The best way to teach new literacy is through social exchange rather than formal, direct instruction. This is another major reason some teachers are resistant. The social change required to teach new literacy involves allowing the students to do much of the teaching. Educators fear that this approach will lead to a loss of power in their classrooms. The fact of the matter is that in the decentralized classroom, the teacher's job actually becomes more important as a mediator of the social exchanges. These scenarios will need to be well orchestrated in order for learning to take place. Also, the teacher's role as a primary instructor does not vanish entirely, as it becomes their job to teach the basic skills for the particular technology to get the class started. Some benefits to this approach are the potential for incorporating social networking amongst other technologies into subject areas, as well as being able to learn the literacies for a given technology from one's students. No Child Left Behind states one of its goals to assist every student in crossing the digital divide by ensuring that every student is technologically literate by the time the student finishes the 8th grade, regardless of the student's race, ethnicity, gender, family income, geographic location, or disability. However, Dr. Leu theorizes that U.S. public policy may actually increase achievement gaps, especially as they relate to online literacy. Because of legislation like No Child Left Behind, the poorest schools, those with the students underperforming, not only in traditional subject areas, but also in online literacy, are under the greatest pressure to improve test scores. The view that policymakers assume is that standards and benchmarks for literacy do not need to be changed because the nature of literacy remains constant is reflected by the fact that there is not a single national, state, or local test in the United States that reflects a student's online literacy. It is simply not taught in those schools. It doesn't help matters much that these are the same students who don't have internet access at home, adding to the disadvantage of not being able to learn what they might on their own, versus the students who have internet access in their homes. Dr. Leu's recommendations are that future policies include 1. Technology standards that become integrated within subject area standards. 2. Instruction in internet use is integrated into each subject area. 3. Every classroom teacher is responsible for teaching online information and communication use. 4. Online information and communication skills are included within subject area assessments. So why is it so important that our students learn online literacies? This is a very important question with a very important answer that might hold the key to getting new literacies integrated into curricula on a widespread scale. Because online literacies are the most important skills of the 21st century global marketplace. At one time, land, labor, and capital defined power and influence. Now power and influence come to those who are the most effective at using information for solving problems. Businesses have adjusted by becoming less centrally planned, wasting brain power, efficiency, and money on mid-level managers to act as liaisons between the bottom and top of the organization. These organizations have readjusted themselves horizontally, placing a premium on collaboration amongst all levels of the organization in order to efficiently solve problems. Now, people at all levels of business, including what would traditionally be seen as the bottom end, are involved in decision-making and problem-solving, both skills that require the employee to be able to read and analyze information. The question becomes, well, can't these people learn those skills in an environment offline as well? As was established before, reading and analyzing information is a key skill in both offline and online reading comprehension. But consider this. Between August 2000 and September 2001, use of the internet in American workplaces increased 60%. That was nearly 10 years ago. The numbers have only increased. The internet requires specific skills, strategies, and dispositions for its effective use. How better to prepare students for the environment that they're going to work in than to teach them how to navigate it through their academic careers? It would seem that in the 21st century, schools would adjust their own structures to reflect this shift in the very organizations that they're supposed to be training their students to work for. They haven't yet. But just what would a 21st century school teaching new literacy look like? When imagining the 21st century school with its emphasis on online literacy, it's important to consider that the internet is ever-changing. This needs to be taken into consideration when developing new literacy curriculum. If technologies are ephemeral, what do we teach? Skills. Leu believed that regardless of the technology, we teach them a process that sets the student up with skills that can be transferred to other technologies. 1. Develop a question. 2. Locate information. 3. Evaluate information. 4. Synthesize. 5. Communicate. Does this sound familiar? The degree to which Leu wants the process incorporated sounds like guided inquiry, only he doesn't use that verbiage. The desired result of making the students top-notch researchers is essentially the same, only Leu never leaves the online realm, for better or for worse. He also suggests incorporating the students' outside lives with the technologies in the school in his own version of third space. Leu proposes specific phases of instruction in order to facilitate student learning. Phase 1 involves direct whole class instruction of the basic skills and strategies of internet use and of a specific tool. Phase 2, the class shifts to group work and the exchange of online reading comprehension strategies by students with peers. Phase 3, individual online inquiry units, which may include some collaboration with classmates with activities like strategy sharing. All the while, the students write lists of strategies that they found useful in their search and why. The decentralized classroom is one that would encourage student learning, with the students able to be in control of their own learning, increasing motivation. The internet itself is a tool that mirrors this decentralization, with the reader being in control of their own learning path. Leu believes that 21st century jobs will also be marked by this decentralization, making his vision of the school the perfect training